Good afternoon. My name is Gabe Zoll, and I'd like to spend some time this afternoon and talk about Congress. Now, I'm sure the majority of you out there understand how many senators and how many congressmen we have, and you probably understand a great deal about them as well. I thought maybe we could do a little bit of a recap. As you all know, there's 535 members of Congress, and these are voting members, out of which 100 are senators. The average salary for one of these individuals is $174,000. Now, that doesn't necessarily sound like a great deal of money in today's economy, but you have to recognize a couple of facts. Above and beyond their salaries, they also receive incredible pensions. They have the best health care, they have the best retirement program. I believe they can retire pretty much after serving one term, and their retirement is rather dramatic. But more important, what I think people might not realize is that out of the 365 days a year, senators and congressmen are in session less than 100 of those days. The balance of the time, they're back in their districts, and what they're doing is they're working to get reelected. A senator serves a 6-year term, and a congressman serves a 2-year term. And people might or might not be aware of the fact that most of these individuals have multiple offices with full staffs. And you would consider that if they have full staffs, that something would have been accomplished over the past 4 years, especially in the Senate, when we now realize that nothing has been accomplished. We still don't have a budget, and we haven't had a budget for the past 4 years. What people might not be aware of is the dramatic expense associated with having senators. The senators cost $400,590,512.37. Now you divide that by 100 senators, they're over $4 million per year each senator. Now, do you think we got what we paid for out of the Senate? I don't. Do you think we got what we paid for out of the Congress? I don't. Earlier on this year, I was with a gentleman by the name of Tom Ballantyne. Some of you might know him. He authored a book, Really O'Reilly. And he and I went around and we videoed and we interviewed a number of the candidates that were running for Congress and the Senate. Jeff Flake was a gentleman we first interviewed when he was at the Red Mountain Tea Party. Matt Salmon we interviewed in a shopping center parking lot. Kirk Adams we interviewed at a meet and greet. And Will Cardin, well, Will Cardin was like the elusive butterfly. We could never corner him. We attempted to on numerous occasions. We spoke with him. We went to a couple of his rallies. He said he would allow us to interview him, but he never did. In either case, he's no longer an issue, so it's no longer important. But what we found to be rather interesting is out of the 3 that we did interview and out of the 3 that we did video, and if anyone's interested, they can go to YouTube and YouTube Tom Ballantyne, and you'll see the videos that I actually made. And you'll see us interview Jeff Flake. And Jeff Flake felt that Obama is a duly appointed president. He was born in Hawaii, and he would never question his eligibility if he were elected to office. Kirk Adams pretty much said the same thing. Kirk also said that if anything were to happen, then that would create a constitutional crisis. If you ever watched the video that I made, when he said that, the camera stopped because I yelled at him and I said, well, what do you think we have right now? Matt Salmon pretty much said the same thing. Matt said that if he were elected again, he would not question Obama's eligibility. And you know what? He's no different than the other 535 senators and congressmen that we have in Washington right now. Not one of them questioned Obama's eligibility. If one of them would have, then we could have had a congressional investigation, and we could have proven that the president that we have, who has buried his entire past thanks to Elena Kagan, who he put onto the Supreme Court, I believe, as a form of payment for the work that she did. And interestingly enough, one would wonder that if she's a Supreme Court justice, and if she knows that Obama is not eligible because of his past being less than what he's portrayed it to be, then I think she would be guilty of a crime as well. In either case, that's yet to be determined, and I'm sure one day that'll all come to the surface. What I'm trying to get across here is that we have people that represent us, so they say they represent us, but really what they're doing is they're representing themselves. And Peter Schwarzer wrote a book, and the book that he wrote is Throw Them All Out. And you might want to get a copy. It's very informative. I enjoyed reading it. It's about 185 pages. It doesn't take long to get through it. And what he highlighted is that our lawmakers, the people that we send to Washington to protect us, really protect themselves. They have laws that allow them to conduct insider trading. Pelosi made, I think, $6 million on banking stock when she found out and realized from the meetings that they're having that the government was going to bail out the banks. The gentleman that's a Speaker of the House, and John Boehner, he made, I think, $2.5 or $3 million when he invested in healthcare stock when the healthcare thing started to melt down. It's incredible that these people are allowed to make the kind of money that they make and not represent us. They don't do what they were sent to Washington to do. And once they're there, they tend to more or less hook themselves in to that kind of lifestyle by being reelected over and over again. John McCain, for example, has been at the public trough for, what, 25, 26 years? And Dianne Feinstein, she's probably been in Washington longer than she's been alive. I mean, it's really, really sad. And what tends to happen is when you don't have term limits, which we don't have right now, where they can only serve, let's say, 2 terms. After that, goodbye. No pension, no benefit. You represent the people because you want to, and this isn't a piggy bank that you can rob for the next 30, 40, 50 years or for the rest of your lives. It has to stop. And hopefully, if Governor Romney becomes President Romney, he'll put the wheels in motion to do exactly that. Term limits are critical. People that go to Washington that are elected by their constituents expect their representatives to protect them. That isn't what's happened. If that is what would have happened, we wouldn't be making the videos that we're making now to try to educate people so that they know who to vote for. Once again, please take 5 of your friends, have each one of them take 5 of their friends, and vote to put Governor Romney and Paul Ryan into the President's office and the Vice President's office. We need to get rid of the bozos that are there. You all saw, or many of you saw, the way Biden treated Paul Ryan. You also saw the way Obama had no ability at all, none at all, to interact effectively with Governor Romney. Without his teleprompters, he is a 0. And you'll see that again next week and the following week. Take away his teleprompters, Obama can't put 3 words together without interjecting ooh, ah, ee, ah, eh. He has to go. And it's all up to us to make certain that happens. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you find some of this information to be informative, and I hope you all do the right thing. Thank you. Bye-bye.